Hello and welcome again to airgunweb.com. My name is Rick Utzler and I'm glad you can join us again today. As you can see, we have a few things to talk about today. The first thing I'd like to talk about is this Champion pellet trap. Now, a few videos ago I showed you guys how even moderate shooting can actually just destroy a wooden and even a metal and wooden trap. So what I decided to do, rather than reinforce that which I know is just going to fail again, I went ahead and talked to the guys at Pyramid Air and had them send me this Champion 22 rimfire trap. Now this is the same trap that I used for years in South Carolina, and other than a few chips of the paint here and there, it never showed any signs of giving in to the lead that I was slinging into it. Some of the things I really like about this trap are the fact that it's got a very heavy-duty clasp. This clip can hold regular targets. What I've done is I've used a piece of project board and I've used some stickum to hold it down at the bottom here. That keeps this nice and solid, and I'm able to put targets here and use stick pins so that they don't move around in the wind. It's not cheap. It runs about $73, but I got to tell you, as far as I'm concerned, it's worth it to know that it's going to stop anything I throw at it. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the Gamo Rocket, which is our review rifle for this video. So for today's review, we're going to take a look at the Gamo Rocket in 177. This rifle reminds me quite a bit of the Gamo Big Cat, although this rifle's in green composite versus black. This rifle ships as a combo and includes a 4x32 scope. Let's take a good close-up look at the Gamo Rocket 1250. The Gamo Rocket 1250 is typical of Gamo's standard design. It's mostly composite and steel, with the barrel encased in composite as well. The stock is green rather than gray or black, and is suitable for both right and left-handed shooters. The rifle ships as a combo and includes a Gamo 4x32 scope with duplex reticle. This rifle reminds me of the Big Cat 1200 with the exception of the green stock. The abundance of composite materials makes the Gamo Rocket light enough to carry around all day, and Gamo's design team managed to create a composite stock that does not sound hollow when you shoot it. The shooting characteristics of the Gamo Rocket are identical to other Gamo guns like the Big Cat. The cocking force is very light for the power it produces, and because it is so light, proper technique is going to be key if you want tight groups. The included scope is suitable for everyday use and light hunting. If you want to go for more accuracy, I'd suggest looking into a Leaper's 3-9x40 AO MD IR scope. They are inexpensive and will drop right into these mounts. The trigger is Gamo's old metal trigger. I'm not sure if this is an older model or if they are just sticking with the old trigger on the Rocket. In either case, it has a long second stage that can be a real bear on accuracy when shooting from the bench. This rifle uses Gamo's standard manual safety located inside the trigger guard. So that's our close-up look of the Gamo Rocket 177 1250 rifle. Let's talk a little bit about performance. Now Gamo says this rifle should shoot lead pellets at 1,000 feet per second and their special PBA pellets at up to 1,200 and some odd feet per second. I didn't test the PBA, but I did test lead pellets. We used the standard hobby pellets, which are 7-grain pellet, for all of our baseline testing. This rifle generated a high of 974 feet per second, a low of 938 feet per second, an average of 961 feet per second, with an extreme spread of 36 feet per second, the standard deviation of 10 feet per second. Now this rifle generated 14.36 foot-pounds. The best pellet in this rifle happened to be the Crosman Premier Hollow Point. Now they are a 7.9 grain pellet, and they flew at a high of 910 feet per second, a low of 871 feet per second, an average of 893 feet per second, with the extreme spread of 39 feet per second and the standard deviation of 14 feet per second. I was hoping for a little bit better consistency out of this power plant, but it may be that it just needs more time to break in. One thing I noticed about the Gamo Rocket 177 is that it was very loud. Most of the rifles we've been shooting are averaging about 93 to 96 to 97 dB. And when you consider that your lawnmower is 100 dB, they're loud but not terribly loud. The Gamo Rocket averaged 108 dB, which if you're going to be shooting close to neighbors, you may want to consider a different air gun. When it comes to accuracy, however, the Gamo Rocket did pretty good at 20 yards. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these groups. So what's my final take on the Gamo Rocket 1250 air rifle? Well, it's a pretty decent rifle for $165. I like the composite stock. I actually like the 4x32 scope that Gamo has included with this gun. It may not be a variable power scope with mil-dot range estimating reticles, but it has a clear sight picture and it gives you a very wide field of view if you plan on doing any small game hunting. The gun's lightweight, and it's easy enough to cock that you can use it all day long without getting tired. The one drawback, as we've mentioned, is that it can be a little loud. So if you've got neighbors right close to your house, you may want to look into something that's a little bit quieter. We've done some testing recently, and we're going to be including sound levels on all our reviews so that you guys can make an informed decision with regards to how loud the rifles are. It did take me some time to find the right hold. Before I was able to get the groups that you saw on camera, I was having some real problems with this rifle. Once I found the right pellet, however, and once I realized that I really need to hold that gun snug into my shoulder and let it really just float in my offhand, it started to really tighten up. So knowing the right technique and knowing the right pellet really turned this review around. I'd like to take a minute and thank the guys over at Pyramid Air for providing this rifle and all the supplies for the review. When you're looking to buy your next air gun or fill your next supply order, please be sure to check out the guys at pyramidair.com, www.pyramidair.com. Until next time, my name is Rick Utzler with airgunweb.com. Hope to see you again soon.